Hey everybody, Healthy Prepper here. I am going to be reviewing 3 different ways to store extra product you may receive from couponing. Since I coupon to help build my stockpile and my prepping supplies, I sometimes get an overabundance of items that I know that me and my family will not use right away. For example, on the last few weeks, I've gathered some Chex Mix. And I know we're not going to eat it that fast, so I want to show you 3 different options you have that I use to extend the shelf life of some products. And Chex Mix is going to be my example today. So here we go. Basically, we're going to be reviewing the jar seal method. Going to be reviewing the oxygen absorber Mylar bag method. And then we're going to be reviewing the big daddy of them all, the Mylar bag, oxygen absorber, and Vacuusealed bag method. Okay, so the purpose of this is, number one, to show you some different options that are available to you to extend the life of your couponed/prepped food, but also to create a little bit of an experiment. And in a year from now, I'm going to open this Chex Mix and find out which one is still good. Now Chex Mix, even though it says 60% less fat than, I guess they're comparing it to something else, than regular potato chips, but it still does contain fat, so the risk of rancidity is always there. So the more oxygen is removed, the lower the chance of rancidity occurring. It'll still occur, but it's going to occur at a much slower rate. The degradation process will be greatly slowed by reducing heat, light, moisture, exposure to air, things like that. So here we go. Hold on. Okay, so I took my traditional Chex Mix and I filled it 2 jars worth. And I'm going to use this vacuum sealer lid that I got on Amazon. I think it was about $8-9. And these are in Mylar bags already. It's a thin Mylar bag, but there is oxygen inside, and I know because there's oxygen present that will definitely cause the reduction in the fat to occur faster. So I want to remove the oxygen. That's why I'm changing it from this. Technically, these are Mylar bags, and you could reuse them. You could put an oxygen absorber in here and reseal the top. That might be an option as well. Very low economical option, which is actually a very cost-effective option. If funds are tight, I would recommend putting an oxygen absorber in to help remove the oxygen that's present in the bag, as it's very difficult, at least I've found, to vacuum seal Mylar bags. Okay, hold on. We'll carry on here. Okay, one tip when you're vacuum sealing your bag or your jar, remember, only put the top disc part on. Don't use the screw top. That was a mistake I made initially before reading how you're supposed to do it, but you just put this on over and you make sure that the seal is good all the way around. And let's go ahead, pop this in here. Okay, and we're going to hit go. Okay, we are vacuum sealing, and what I want to watch is that the 3 lights are definitely green. That means the vacuum seal is occurring. And it stops on its own when it is done. Alright, turn that off. It's easier to do with 2 hands. Sorry, I have my new tripod coming. It's ordered. Alright, let me turn it off for 1 sec. Okay, so good seal on that one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well. Now I'm just going to complete this one here by putting the screw top lid. I'm going to put the date and the name of the product on the top. Okay, so now I've completed the 2 jars, put the lids on, put the name of the product and the date that I sealed it. And it was still fresh when I sealed it. I don't go by the expiration dates. This product had not expired yet, but I definitely wanted to put the date that I put it in the jar that it was fresh and it's sealed. You can also add the expiration date if you want to just test for that as well. That's experiment number 1. Okay, experiment number 2 is going to involve gusseted Mylar bags. These are pretty thick bags with a Ziploc top, and I'm going to add an oxygen absorber to each bag. So that would be the item that is missing in here. These are thinner bags and no oxygen absorber inside. Now, just for a cross-compare study, this one is a brand new one, never been used before. This one is a previously used one. And what I'm trying to show by using this is that the good thing about this is once you buy them, you can reuse them. So I did open up the top, use the product, but I went ahead and cleaned it out, and it is ready to go for round 2. So here we go. Okay, so I have filled the bags. This one has regular Chex Mix, and this has honey Chex Mix in it. And I'm going to I cut the labels off, and I'm going to go ahead and stick the labels on, seal the bags with the Ziploc Mylar seal, which is there. It doesn't require any heat seal. It just close it up. This one, because it's new, I could seal it up manually and then heat seal the top. But I'm just going to see what happens with the Ziploc itself. Okay, and I'm going to write the date of today's date on there. And again, you have the choice. It's your preference whether you want to put the expiration date on the bag or today's date. Okay, so here are the 2 completed Mylar bag plus oxygen absorber, Ziploc top, non-heat seal requiring bags that I just completed. And I just put the label on from the bag, and I put the date that I packaged it. Another plus about this particular method is that you don't need any electricity. So something to think about in the prepper world. And on we go. The next method I'm going to use is a larger Mylar bag. It's a Ziploc top. The top is pre-sealed from the factory. This very top part, I don't have to heat seal that. And this bag, it's like a gallon-sized bag. You load from the bottom and then heat seal. You can use a flat iron to heat seal it. You can use a regular iron over a hard surface and heat seal it. Or you can use a food saver sealer and seal it, or any kind of heat sealer. So I have a preponderance of the cheddar, so I'm going to put this in a large bag. Here we go. Okay, I've just put 3 bags of Chex Mix in here. And I'm going to pop an oxygen absorber in here quickly. I use the 300 cc oxygen absorbers. I buy those in bulk, and then I, tailor the bag size to the amount of oxygen absorber I want in there. Okay. So I'm going to seal this up quickly so that oxygen absorber has a chance to work. Okay, so I've just put the bag in here, and this one, when I hit go, is going to... It's going to try and vacuum seal, but it can't really, this model cannot vacuum seal Mylar very well, so I'm just going for the heat seal on the bottom. And I'm going to take care of the oxygen inside because I've added the oxygen absorber. Now it's ideal to get as much air out as possible before you seal it, so just do that manually, squeeze the bag, and then slide it in and let it seal. Let's see how our seal came out. The important thing with these seals is that there's no powder residue along the seal crack that will make it open. So you want to test for the integrity of the seal. And this one seems to be good. And like I said, you can also use a flat iron here or a regular iron over something hard, and that will allow you to create the seal as well. Don't necessarily need a food saver. There you go. And we carry on. And again, I have put my label on, and I put the date that I packaged it on. So there you go. There's a big bag of Chex Mix, hopefully being saved for much longer shelf life than normal. All right, we carry on. Okay, here's my last method. I'm using a food saver vacuum seal bag in combination with the Chex Mix Mylar bag itself. Now I went and cut the top off of this one, but you can actually just poke a couple pinholes in it and it will work just as well. I actually think that would be a better method because you get a little bit more protection. Okay, so here we go. First, I'll seal the bottom. Okay, I'm sealing the bottom of the bag. And as soon as that red light goes out, the bottom is sealed. Okay. Then I'm going to place my Chex Mix bag inside the vacuum seal bag. Okay. Now I put mine in sideways because I didn't want any powder residue to be drawn up into my machine, but it's not absolutely necessary. As you can see, all the air is being sucked out. There's a small amount of crunching going on. Let's see how this goes. Oh, see, as you can see, some of the Chex Mix was being drawn out of the bag. So I would recommend the pinhole method to be a better method. There, the top is sealed. It's a good vacuum seal. Now you do have the option of putting an oxygen absorber in here as well for extra protection. It's obviously more expense added, and you also have the option of transferring, instead of using the Chex Mylar bag, you could use a regular Mylar bag inside here. The regular Mylar bags are, you can get them thicker than the Chex bag, so that would give you more protection. But I think since they come in a foil bag already, that it's fine to use the one that it comes in. So there's that method, and I can already see the label. I don't need to put that on, I'm just going to write the date on. Okay, so there are our different methods of extending the shelf life of coupon food for building your prepper stockpile. And quick review, the glass jar method, create the vacuum seal on top. Where your expense is obviously is in the jars, and these do take up, a significant amount of space. They're heavy. If you live in an earthquake zone, these may topple over if they're not protected, and I would recommend storing them in a box that is covered so you remove the concern of light. These probably will do well in a flood, although they might rust around the caps. That might not be a good thing. So you're going to have to decide for yourself where you want to store them, high or low. And the next one is the Mylar Ziploc gusseted bags, no electricity required. This is a brand new one, which I can seal the top along with the Ziploc if I want to. This one was a pre-used that I washed out. These are reusable. There's initial expense buying these. You can buy these on eBay or Amazon in bulk, different sizes. I think these are the 6x9s, and these are the gallon size, the ones that I'm using today. And I did put oxygen, did I? I did put oxygen, yes, absorbers in each of these. Because essentially if you don't put the oxygen absorber in, it's really not much difference than leaving it in the bag itself that it came in. So you definitely want to add an oxygen absorber. Then the bigger bag is just for a greater bulk product. I did need a heat sealer on this one to seal the bottom. I did use my food saver. You can use a flat iron or an iron. And then the last method is the vacuum seal, which I'm very curious to see which one comes out fresher. I did use the peppermint bark flavor because it was only a 1E. This one is probably the most expensive to do because you have to buy the plastic bags and they're not reusable. So I guess technically they are reusable if you cut it, and then you could reuse the smaller portion. But sometimes these get little pinhole punctures in them as you store them, and you lose the vacuum seal, so you have to take that into account as well. And again, you can also add an oxygen absorber here for extra security, or use a regular Mylar bag instead of the Chex bag for extra security. It's a lot of protection for Chex Mix, I know. To have an accurate experiment to compare the freshness after a year, or I might even extend it, so open some after a year and open some after 2 years. I would think that it would be best to have the same flavor in all of the bags so that it would be a better experiment, so you could taste it and say, this tastes better than that one, this tastes better than that one. So I will do my best to remember at the 1 year mark and at the 2 year mark to open some of these bags, and we'll give it the old taste test try. Thanks everybody. Hope these give you some ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on how you're extending the shelf life of your food when you're prepping or couponing. We all need tips, so please feel free to share below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks. Happy and healthy prepping.